Chapter 2. After going home for a quick change of clothes, Chaya hastened towards the edge of the village to see her friend Neil. She picked her way through the paddy fields, turning back from time to time to check if she was being followed. Ahead of her was the carpenter's workshop, where Neil worked, and beyond its waist-high walls she could see him bent over his work. "Hi, Neil," she said, stepping into the smell of wood chips and polish. Neil looked up and smiled, and then bent down again to the square of teak he was working on. Stacks of wood leaned against the wall, and half-finished furniture was strewn all over the place. "Oh, you're back early, Chaya. I thought you'd be at the feast for longer." She slipped onto a stool beside him. I had to leave a bit suddenly. You should have come, though. The feast was amazing." She peered over the half walls. The surrounding area was deserted as usual, and only a soft breeze swept through the paddy, rustling the underside of the thatched roof. "Oh, we've got so many orders to finish. Master didn't want me to go." Neil worked his chisel into the wood, and brown shavings fell at his feet. Chaya was wondering what was happening at the royal palace at this moment. She'd lost them, but would they give up? Surely they'd continue to look for her. "Are you all right?" asked Neil. "Me? Yeah, of course." She pointed to a square of wood he was working on. "That looks different. All the geometric patterns instead of the swirly designs you usually do." "Oh, this is something we're making for one of the foreign merchants. There's a new spice merchant in town, and it looks like he's here for good. The patterns are all like this. I had to use a ruler." Chaya zoned out as Neil talked. How long would the king's men look for her? They wouldn't give up easily. Her head snapped back at a thwacking noise, but it was only a crow hopping along the top of the wall. "Okay, Chaya, what's going on?" Neil put down the chisel and stared at her. "What do you mean? You're all jumpy. What's happened?" "You're not going to like it." "Tell me anyway." "It's, the usual." Neil sighed. "And what's it for this time?" "It's Vijay, one of the boys at the river. He was attacked by a crocodile when he was swimming. I was there when it happened." "Yeah, you told me. What can you do for him now, though?" Neil blew on a piece of wood, puffing out a cloud of brown dust into the air. Chaya rubbed her nose. "His family have been told of a medicine man that can fix him, and he might be able to walk again. But they need a lot of money very quickly. They have to hire a cart for the 3-day journey, and then there's payment for the months of treatment, of course." Neil shook his head. "I don't know if I should admire you or think you are completely mad." "Why? What's different?" "Well, this time you might be right to say mad." "Well, like I said, they need a lot of money. I might have taken something a bit more valuable than usual." Neil stared at her. "Which is?" Chaya undid the pouch and the jewels spilled out. They clattered onto the intricate carving Neil was working on, lodging in its various grooves. The sapphire shone the bluest of blues, and the sparkling pink ruby was a close second, with a silvery star shimmering inside it. Neil shrank back as if he'd been stung. "Chaya, what on earth? Where did you get those from?" She picked up the sapphire and held it to the light. "The Queen's bedside table." He looked at the jewels and then at Chaya. "Please tell me you're joking." "It's not so bad." Chaya put the sapphire back with the other jewels. Neil's always such a worry. He always seemed to make things worse than they were. "I don't think they recognised me." "Wait a minute. You say someone saw you?" "Oh, calm down, Neil. I ran away. I'm safe." "Calm down? This isn't like stealing a few coins here and there. This is the king we're talking about." "Well, Queen, actually." Neil glared at her, so she quickly carried on. "Well, don't you want Vijay to get better? If he's not treated, he'll lose his leg and he'll never walk again. Anyway, there's someone else who could use some of it too." "Who?" "You." "Me?" "Your parents could have the money so you don't need to work. You're 13, Neil. You should come back to school." "I've told you enough times I'm fine. I don't need any charity." "Oh, just hear me out. Not just school. You could even learn Sanskrit and the sciences at the temple. You could have a better life." "A better life? Or your life, you mean?" Chaya threw up her hands. "Fine." So I might have gone a bit too far, stealing the Queen's jewels. She noticed his expression. "Okay, a lot too far. But I had to find the money right away, when they can still treat Vijay." She gathered the jewels up in a pouch. "I need to get these to his family. They'll leave tonight." "Wait. Chaya, how's a poor farmer going to sell the Queen's jewels?" "And what happened? You said someone saw you?" She hoisted the pouch back over her neck. "Oh, it was just one of the guards. He chased me down to the promenade, and other people tried to get me too. It got a bit manic, but I got away." "So now they're looking for you?" Well, maybe. Oh, maybe he looks so horrified. I'll give VJ's mother one piece so she can sell on the journey far away from here. I'm going to hide the rest at home. The king's men are probably searching the villages right now. Don't go anywhere with those things on you. We need to hide them at once. Hide them? Where? Here? She swept round the room. High shelves lined the far wall of the workshop, filled with tools, pots of polish and wooden trinkets. Everything's so open. What about that box you showed me the other day, the one you made with the hidden compartment? You still got it? Yeah, it's here somewhere. Neil was in there. Went to the shelves and hunted through them. He brought down a small box, carved with a two-headed bird carrying a snake in its claws. He opened the lid, and lifted out a drawer, and after some fiddling about, unlocked a secret compartment at the bottom of the box. Chaya emptied the jewels inside, first taking out the tiny cat's eye pendant and leaving it aside. Scooping up some wood dust, swept into a pile in the corner, she packed it in tightly with the jewels. Neil snapped everything shut and put the boxes back on a shelf amongst a few others. It's all right, he said, as if guessing what she was thinking. The master takes these every 3 months to Gull, and he's only just been, so they're safe. Oh, good. This'll blow over soon. I can get them back then. She hoped that it was true. She unpicked a few stitches in the hem of her skirt and pushed the cat's eye pendant in. I'll give this to VJ's mother now. Fine, but go straight home after. I'll head into the city and see what the talk is. You'll be safe once home. Your father... Neil stopped and looked troubled. What? What about father? Oh, Chaya, if they ever find out you took the jewels, your father will be in big trouble. But father's only a minor official to the king. Why should they blame him? But even as she said it, the realization slowly dawned. He's the village headman. He knows the palace, layout, access, that kind of thing. They'll think he set it up. They'll never believe a girl did this on her own. And you know what the king is like in a rage. He will have your father... His eyes darted away from Chaya. Come on, you need to go home now. Chaya followed Neil out with a backward glance at the box on the shelf. The queen's pendant brushed her ankle through her hem. Oh, father, had she accidentally put him in danger? Neil's unfinished sentence couldn't have been any clearer.